Terrifying games you should never play, Part 1. Daruma-san, or the Bath Game. If you win this game, you will be blessed with great fortune. But if you lose, the consequences could be dire. In order to play this game correctly, you must have a bathroom with a bathtub. Just before you go to bed at night, you'll need to fill the tub with water and get in it, facing the faucets. Once you have done this, you'll need to start washing your hair while repeating the phrase "Daruma-san fell down" over and over until you're done washing. If you have followed all of the steps correctly up until this point, you will get a mental image of a woman standing in the bathroom with you. She will fall down and hit her head on the tap, killing her instantly. At this point, you need to say, "Daruma-san, why did you fall?" and leave the bathroom without emptying the tub or looking back. The next day, the game will begin. Daruma-san will begin to follow you around, getting closer and closer in an attempt to catch you. If you feel like she's getting too close, you can turn around and say "Tomare," which means stop, giving you enough time to run. However, if you use this trick too often, she will stop responding to it. If you wish to end the game, you must turn around, catch her in your sight, yell "Kita," and make a cutting motion with your arm. This means "I cut you loose." If you do this within the first 24 hours of playing the game, you win. However, if she catches you or you don't end the game in time, she will follow you for all eternity and eventually kill you. Comment whether or not you would play this game and follow for more. Terrifying cursed games you should never play, Part 2. The Man in the Fields Game. If you win this game, you will be granted physical and financial protection for an entire year. But if you lose, the consequences could be dire. To begin this game, you must summon the man in the fields. To do this, you'll need to go into your backyard with a lantern and ask 7 times, "But who will scare the crows away?" If you hear nothing after the 7th time, then the summoning has failed and the game is over. But if you hear a voice in your head saying, "That's not your biggest problem," the game has begun. At this point, the first thing you'll need to do is go into your house and find a room with only one door. You'll need to close everything in it that can be closed. This includes drawers, bags, etc. This will be your safe room. Once you leave this room, you will find that everything that can be opened in your house will be open, and your job is to close all these items again before the clock strikes 12. If you see a shadowy man in your peripheral vision, ignore him. He's not the one you should be worried about. However, if you look at the backyard at all, even accidentally, you'll need to return to your safe room immediately and remain there until 6 a.m. Otherwise, you'll be caught by the man in the fields. Finally, once you have closed everything else in the house, close your eyes and keep them closed until 6 a.m. This will end the game. Comment whether or not you would play this game, and follow for more.
What truly scares you? What human beings are able to do? You never know if the person next to you could snap. Cancer. Watched my dad die a slow painful death from that crap. Scares the absolute hell out of me. Loneliness. Not the I have no partner kind of loneliness, but the kind of loneliness where I'm old and have nobody to talk to rely on, to call, to see. No family, no friends, no ancient colleagues. And wondering at which point in my life it all went wrong so much that it led me to this lonely hell. I'm not mentally prepared to accept my friends and family members dying one day. I just have no idea how I'll continue living with my loved ones who literally raised me, especially my mom and dad. The passage of time, every second that goes by won't ever come back, and I'm slowly crumbling to dust as approximately half my life is gone, and I've become as sympathetic to the dreams I had in the past while I sit waiting to be undone by forces beyond my control. Going through life without living up to my true potential.
Nossa! O quê? Aline? Ouviu? Oi!
Redditors whose job requires them to go into other people's houses. What is the weirdest shit you've seen? Not me, since I never went in student rooms when I was on college staff. But the other folks in the IT department would be called in to fix someone's network connection and occasionally come back with stories. Usually just bongs and porn. Sometimes really filthy rooms. It turns out that some students not only don't do laundry, but enter and exit their rooms through the ground floor window, meaning that the door is actually not navigable for the dirty clothes and other kibble on the floor. Department policy was that staff would not enter a student's room alone. More than once, the student who wanted their network connection fixed was glad to see the IT people. But the student's girlfriend, who just woke up in their bed, was somewhat surprised to see the IT people. The IT people were never warned that there would be a person in the room. Not even with a scarf on the doorknob. As a loan officer, I had to go to a person's home to get loan docs signed. She was a surgical nurse in a big hospital. The house smelled so bad. I had to use the restroom and there was a huge cockroach smashed on the wall just above the sink, literally 2 inches from a toothbrush. The tub and toilet had a black ring of dirt like they had never been cleaned. The dining room table was full of trash and empty cat food cans where they just opened the can to feed the 4 cats sitting on the table. It was absolutely disgusting. A woman who built an aluminum foil tent over her bed so they couldn't control her dreams or thoughts while she slept. I found out later that she'd been a member of the Branch Davidians.
Dude, I gotta be tripping right now. This mother just moved, dude. Gotta be tripping.
And I'll be honest, I've never told this story before, and I feel like I'm just gonna say it because I feel like you should know. Anyway, when we signed it, before we signed the deal, I was a bit off on it, and because the pressure was a bit much, it was like, sign it, sign it. And I remember speaking to my old manager, right? And no, if I'm lying, I'm flying. He's phoned me and we're in the studio and I put him on loudspeaker, old manager, and he's like, yeah, like, what are you lot thinking about the deal? We're like, yeah, we want to sign it, but we want to wait and see what happens. And like, on God, Shams, yeah, his voice changed in like a demon's voice. Sign the deal, sign it now, sign it, sign it. I got so shook, I threw my phone on the floor. If I'm lying, I'm flying, wallahi. And me and Crep just staring at the phone on the floor like, what the fuck? His voice just changed into like a gremlin. And all he kept saying is, sign the deal, sign the deal, sign the deal. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I dropped the phone and stepped back like this, and we're just staring at the phone for about 3 minutes. Like, I'm like, did you hear that, bro? He's like, yeah, bro, like, what the fuck's that? Like, that's mad. So I picked up the phone and I phoned back my manager, like, yo, bro, like, what happened to your voice, bro? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, your voice changed, bro. He's like, what are you talking about? So from then, I was a bit, yeah, this is a bit funny. Ended up signing the deal anyway, but I was like 5 hours late. They still signed it. I was a bit skeptical. If you watch the video back, my face is a bit like, yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't know if I was over.
Minecraft, except I joined the Ghostface cult? Reap the benefits. Alright, so if you've been on TikTok lately, you've probably seen comment sections filled with this profile picture. Apparently, if you change your profile picture, you gain a bunch of followers from the other members of the cult, but I don't really believe it. So to test it, I changed my profile picture and I want to see if I can get to 2 million followers within 24 hours. So let's see if we can reap the benefits.